Hi everyone, this is Arvin Vora, founder of Vora Method. I'm joined by Chelsea Snyder. We're going to talk about some important techniques to make sure that we are really building that active learning, the strong, rigorous intelligence, the total mastery that really is the hallmark of what we're trying to do here at Vora Method. I want to start off by having you guys think about an image. Image number one is the good image. Think of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. They're stuck in an electrified fence. They're trying to break out. And what are they doing? They're testing different parts of the fence every time. Never the same place twice. They're active. They're engaged. They're predatory. They're awesome. That's what we're going for. Here's what we don't want. I want you to imagine like a sullen, bored cow being led along half-heartedly by some sort of owner or farmer or whatever who's just like, yeah, and the cow's like, yeah, fine, I guess I'll go. Wrong. That's not what we're going to try to do that. So we're not going to be pulling students. In fact, we're going to be more like pushing back. We're going to be creating boundaries, obstacles for them to overcome. It's more like a combat situation, not so much a let me drag you along sullenly like a sullen cow. The correct thing is let me trap you like a velociraptor and see how awesome and intense you can get. We start with this problem M0.6. Pretty much every student is going to do this at some point. And Chelsea's put up the problem. Chelsea, go ahead and make some sort of a guess, and let's see what I'm going to do in response. Okay, so Chelsea's guessed 5. The answer's wrong, and there's no work shown. I have a couple things I could do. I could ask her to show her work, or I could just say no. So in this case, I'm just going to say no. Note that the add to the review button pops up here, and in this case, I'm definitely going to add this to the review because I got a nonsense answer with no work. Clearly, this is something worth reviewing. If a student struggles at all with a problem, if a student struggles one unit with a problem, turn it into a review question. If just click the add to the review button, and if it's not a number thing, just type review and then the question or whatever. So I've added to the review. Now Chelsea is alerted that this is not like school where you just get a question wrong and then somebody tells you the answer and gives you a lollipop. All right, Chelsea, let's try another guess. Okay, so now she's written something that doesn't really make any sense, so I'm just going to say no. In the olden days of Vora Method, when we used to do things in person, we had a simple rule that before we gave you a single hint, you had to come up with 30 different guesses. All right, Chelsea, let's give me another guess, and let's make it still wrong. 3x plus 8y equals 22. So in this case, that it's true, but I'm a little concerned as like where are these steps coming from? Oh, never mind. Chelsea pointed out that it is not true. Oh yeah, it should be 3x plus 8x. So again, this is wrong. And again, what am I doing? Is Chelsea getting frustrated? I hope so. I want her to feel like a trapped velociraptor trying to break out and get more awesome and conquer the world. I don't want her to feel like a sullen cow that's being dragged along by some farmer. All right, so Chelsea, let's give some other guess. Yeah, let's make it a right guess, sure. Okay, so now she's written something true, and I could say like, oh, based on her long history of getting this wrong, she's probably suddenly gotten it totally right for the right reasons. Or I can be like intelligent and skeptical and say, let's show your steps. I can make it a command, or I can maybe ask something like, how did you get that? Now, I'm not going to be like a dum-dum and say, did you get that by substituting the 4x for the y and then replacing it and doing your substitution correctly? Because the students obviously be like, yeah, totally, I did that. Whether or not they did that, they're going to obviously say, yeah. So I'm just asking, how'd you get that? Okay. So she said rather than that she doesn't know. So now what do I want to do here, right? I can see there's like some semblance of thought happening. She's somehow gotten the right answer, but it could be from a lot of things. Maybe she remembered it. Maybe she did the problem before. Maybe her mom walked by and told her the answer. Maybe she called up a friend. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And so here's where I'm going to give a follow-up worksheet. Now notice I didn't give the follow-up worksheet right away in this case. Sometimes I'll give a follow-up worksheet right away, but a lot of times I'll let the student really work because I'm trying to get the student in the Velociraptor mindset, not in the dragged along like a sullen, annoyed cow mindset. All right. Okay, so now I've sent the substitution worksheet. First question comes up, and Chelsea, go ahead and give the right answer. And then I might have her do the rest of this worksheet and go on from there. I want to talk about a few things like the question that often comes up is how can you go off script? And the answer is well no, but sometimes you can. And here's what you can do. You can always just give general encouragement. Nice job, I say. Good. All of that. That's not like scripted. Um, but it's not giving away any information. And in other words, I'm not hiding from myself what I'm trying to find. What I need to know is what does Chelsea not know so I can start to fix it. It might be very deep seated, and if I start giving information, I'm never going to be able to find it, never be able to do what I need to do. Let's go ahead to a reading question now. I want to show you how you might go a little bit more off script than that. Chelsea, go ahead and call up that reading question. All right, we have this thing over here. And Chelsea, just give some kind of common wrong answer. Okay, so let's say it says that the people are paid too much. I might have her explain. I might just say no. There's a bunch of different things I could do here. Now, the other thing that I might do at this point is realize that maybe she might not know what we're actually trying to prove here. So I might just ask her, what is the thesis? Now, look at what makes this a good question versus a bad question. First, this question has one clear, unambiguous answer. Now, I could give something like this. Indicate about Now, I could ask something like this. What does the thesis indicate about the nature of the author's argument? That has 1,000 different possible answers. The question itself is so complex and convoluted that any student who could understand the question would easily have already gotten the question right. You're going to be tempted to do this, and there's a few reasons that you're going to be tempted to do this. One, I mean, we hire smart people, and smart people think complexly. The other thing is you might have a clear idea in your mind, and then we end up turning this into a guessing game instead of Velociraptor. It's a subtle difference, but it's an important one. You don't want to put the student in the mindset of sullenly guessing what type of word you're thinking in your head, because then we're back to cow mode of be like, oh no, are you thinking that it's good? Are you thinking that it's wrong? Are you thinking that it's logos? Are you thinking that it's dialectical? I mean, no one knows what you're asking over here. To go off script, your question A should not give away anything. B, it should have one very clear, unambiguous answer. It should not have the possibility of multiple answers. And C, the goal of an off-script question is just to redirect the student's attention. Here's a perfectly good off-script question. Let's say I'm working with a student who just seems really bewildered. I might just say, what is a salary? I'm just directing the student's attention toward, he probably knows what a salary is. But, and again, in this case, Chelsea knows what it is, and I'm just directing the student's attention to a particular thing. The most common error in reading is just missing a word. It's just not seeing a word entirely, or sometimes not seeing an entire phrase. And so what you don't want to do is say, did you notice that this phrase says this, which means this? No. Just say what does this phrase mean? What does this word mean? Again, it's better to, I like to use words because it's going to be unambiguously right or wrong. Now, suppose that a student is doing something and it really seems like they know what they're doing. They just have a tiny little thing wrong. And you might think that if you type N, it might send them on some spiral of weirdness. And you're right, it might. If there's something that's wrong that's small, I might just type something like, let's say that I do like, say like 3x plus 4x. And Chelsea, go ahead and write like 8x or something. See, that answer, it's not like ridiculous. It's not right. And it could be a typo. So I might just say, was that a typo? Okay, so Chelsea says it's not a typo. Now, at this point, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to give anything highly leading, right? I'm not going to say, what do you know about like terms or anything like that. I'm just going to give her the combined like terms worksheet. Or I might just say, the answer's wrong. Or I might just say N. Or I might just, give an X. The point is, this is not a time where I'm going to start preemptively giving a bunch of hints. Hints, off-script hints, should never happen until you've done the on-script hints, the ones that are actually in the hint. And at that point, probably you should either send a responsive worksheet or maybe ask a lead instructor what they think you should do. Off-script hints definitely should never, ever be vague. They shouldn't be something like, what do you notice about this? Because, like let's say the question is, we can pick honestly any question about this. Let's say I do M0.1, the very first question in the math sequence. If I say, what do you notice? And now we can go through all kinds of rabbit trails and nonsense. Because what do you notice? It's bold. There's a Y. I hate it. I mean, there's a bunch of things you could notice. So instead, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not gonna say what do you notice. I'm gonna get rid of that thing. I'm not gonna say what do you observe. What do you know? Because people know lots of things. They know that X is their favorite letter of the alphabet. You don't need to. You don't have to say anything. You can just say nothing. Just wait. The only thing that I do say sometimes is after waiting for a while, not after waiting for 2 seconds, after waiting for a while, let's say that the question mark has come up from the VMH. Let's say the emoji of like a sleeping person has come up from the VMH. At that point, I might just say, any ideas? That's as far as I'm going to go. The reason that I might say any ideas is I want to make sure that the student is there and paying attention, not like leaving the room or watching Netflix or anything like that. And if I don't get a response, I'm going to send an alert. It's probably the alert, the /alert gone, which is going to immediately alert their parents that they are not paying attention. So, Chelsea, anything that I should add to this one? All right, awesome. If you have any questions about this, just contact me or Chelsea and we'll go over the details.